I guess we should start off our conversation with talk show host Mark Larson with gun control. I mean, this is so unusual.
This is hot on 1170 KCBQ on my radio show this morning, too, and it obviously has been after what happened in D.C. on Monday, what was going on in the State Assembly last week. But every time this happens, as shocking as this is, in this hotbed of crime, La Jolla, which is surprising to all of us, not to make light of the situation, but there's always a line of people ready to say, you know what we need to do? We need to add more laws. And people who do this kind of thing or do what happened on Monday do not say before they go out and do something, I need to make sure I'm in compliance with all local, state, and federal gun laws before I do this. It's ludicrous.
And there's a long line in Sacramento right now, 10 to 15 bills, somewhere in that general area were introduced. Most of them have passed and are on the governor's
about
desk.
9 of them the governor's desk. And that's one of the problems, David, when you look at what happens in Sacramento. I mean, right now, this is how bizarre the state has gotten. Jerry Brown as governor needs to be the governor in the technical sense to be the last best hope for reasonable thinking, because some of the bills have just been way out there. A lot of them could be debated forever and will be. But when they jam through 400 plus bills, an average of 100 a day last week before the Yom Kippur break, and it's just every day jamming them through. We got to stop calling them lawmakers. It only encourages them to make more laws. And when they start saying, one of the bills that I don't believe did pass was about registration if you're going to buy ammo, if you're going hunting or target practice or whatever. This always ends up, when it's the gun issue, for example, as pile on more bills and stick it to people who are the vast majority of law-abiding Second Amendment Americans who do the right thing. But and you're not going to stop the the crazies. Actually. So.
Mark, what is going on with the prison release program? We understand there's been a delay, or
they're trying to get a 3-year delay, and that's the feds have been very clear on this, telling Governor Brown, no, the prisons are too overcrowded, so they've got to be dispersed to whether it's one proposal as some other states. Right now, we see many of the prisoners, the nonviolent ones, coming to county facilities. And that includes San Diego County, where they now have 104% of capacity. So you move one overcrowding there. You still have another issue, which is no matter where you house the prisoners, it's still $45,000 to $50,000 a year of taxpayer money. And which keep that in mind when you think about all these hundreds of bills. This year, I think there are 2,300 bills of one sort or another introduced in Sacramento. Every one to introduce is at least $20,000 of taxpayer money to support. So there's all of that, even the crazy stuff. And then you still have the warehousing of prisoners. So, and a lot of debate is about whether those prisoners will increase the crime rate. So far, the people I talked to at STPD and the Sheriff's Department say that they haven't really seen a spike yet. I mean, violent crime is down, larcenies and property crime up. It may or may not be related to that. But the county, for example, now has 104% capacity. They used to have people come in for, say, 65 days. Now they're going to be housing people for 2 years. So this isn't something that just becomes solved and wonderful in a minute or two.
Less than a minute to go, but let's talk about the minimum wage, because there was a lot of chatter on Facebook on your site yesterday that this isn't such a great idea. I mean, everybody loves a raise, but...
Well, California's led the way with higher than average when you compare the national average for a long time. I'm a big proponent of private enterprise doing it. I stopped at an In-N-Out on my way up to Santa Barbara last week, and they've got a thing on the windows saying we're now hiring at $10.25 an hour. I mean, they're not waiting. Businesses should be able to do what they do. You legislate this and force living wage. Mumbo jumbo, you're basically going to hurt businesses. That combined with the Obamacare concerns, the Affordable Care Act, how does that all enter in? It's going to squeeze jobs. Jerry Brown again has to decide. Does he approve that or not? Got to give some long and hard thought based on the business climate. Job one should still be strip off some of the regulations, because we got way too many. Keep people from moving businesses to Texas. Create jobs that expand the economy and help the tax base, really, with existing laws.
All right. We're out of time. Did you get the double-double?
I have the #2 animal style.
Animal style. That's the best.
Right. Made fresh. And they're not buying the commercials or anything, but I'm just saying.
It's a good product.
Did they get your order right?
I rationalized, well, because they put John 3:16 under the soda,
wrapper,
then I rationalized that God wants me to eat fast food. So.
Thanks, Mark Larson. It's great to see you as always.
Next time.